Hello everybody, welcome to my channel Programming in C with RSK, and I am Rajendra Kulkarni. In today's video, we are going to understand what are two-dimensional arrays of characters or two-dimensional strings. In earlier video, we have seen one-dimensional strings. We will go through a few programs and we'll understand from those programs how 2D strings are initialized, declared, initialized and accessed and used in our programs. So the declaration and initialization. 2D array of strings is an array of one-dimensional strings. We have seen in the numeric string, arrays that the two-dimensional numeric array is a collection of one-dimensional numeric arrays under one name. We many times in earlier programs referred to two-dimensional array of string of ints or floats as a we can visualize those arrays as table with rows and columns. Rows are the arrays, 1D arrays, columns are the elements of each 1D array. In 2D strings, it is we can say they are analogous to 2D array of numerals. The difference which we will see in this video. Now this is char flowers and two subscripts, with second subscript has been initialized with dimension 20. So each one-dimensional string in this char flowers 2D string is of 20 characters. We have initialized this char flowers 2D array of strings with 4 numbers of 1D strings: rose, jasmine, tulip and lotus. Please note, rose is followed by comma, jasmine is followed by comma, tulip is followed by comma, and the last element of that array is lotus, and there is no comma or full stop or anything after that. Then there is a closing brace. So when we have to declare and when we have to initialize the 2D arrays of strings, we have to enclose each string, 1D string, into two braces, and then the closing brace is followed by a semicolon. This is how a 2D array of strings is initialized. We can see here only the second dimensions are mentioned, first dimensions are not mentioned. The compiler picks up the number of one-dimensional strings that we are going to assign to this through this assignment statement. Then we try to find out how these strings are stored in the memory, how compiler allots memory locations to the 2D array of strings. This for loop gives us the memory allocation or memory addresses of these 2D array of strings. Please see printf %u and flowers I subscript 0. So we are accessing the addresses using the address of operator, and we are only accessing the 0th element of each 1D string, using the notation and flowers, ampersand flowers, subscript I, subscript 0. So as when I is 0 and flowers 0 0 give the address of 0th element of the 2D strings, which is rows in this case. As I increments to 1, we get the next string. The second subscript will always remain 0. So we are using addresses of individual elements of the 2D string using the notation ampersand flowers, subscript I, subscript 0. By using printf %s as the format specifier, ampersand flowers, first subscript with I, second subscript with 0 will give us the value of the strings, and this printf statement will display those strings on our monitor screen. So this is the screenshot of the output screen when I ran this program. Memory allocation is 65446 466 486 506. So we can see the first memory address is been added with the second dimension mentioned in the declaration of the string flowers, and this printf statement that gives us the values of the elements of 2D array flowers, which in itself are 1D strings, which are the members of this 2D array of strings. In the memory location, what we see, this is the memory location, indicative memory locations 65446. Then it has been allotted with 20 bytes. So 65446, 47, 48 up to 65. These 20 bytes are allotted to the first element or the 0th element of the 2D array of strings, which is rows in our case. So ROAC and then /0 being the string terminator are stored in 5 memory locations, and 15 memory locations, balance 15 are blank, they are not used. Similarly, 65466 is the 0th memory location for the second or the element number 1. If we call rows as element number 0, then this will be the element number 1, or which is the second element of the 2D string, which we have assigned with Jasmine. So these 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 memory locations will be used for storing the data. Balance 13 memory locations will be blank. Similarly for next two 1D arrays, 1D strings assigned to the 2D array of strings. So compiler will allot 80 memory locations. Out of these 80, 24 are actually occupied. Balance 80, where 56 of the allotted 80 locations do not contain any data, but they remain allotted and assigned to the individual string elements, 1D strings of which are the elements of 2D array of strings. How to access 2D array of strings, that we will see here. We have declared and initialized a 2D array name with flavor having second subscript having 20 dimension 20. Then we have assigned 5 flavors of the ice cream to this array, to a 2D array or 2D strings of flavor named flavor. Then these are the prices which are combined in an array named price. So each element, 0th element of the array is the price of the 0th element of the flavor appearing in the 2D string flavor. So the sequence of the prices which we want to assign to each flavor has to be the same as that of the names of the ice cream flavors that we have mentioned in the 2D array or 2D strings. Then we prompt the user to enter his choice of the flavor he wants. That choice is picked up and assigned to a variable named choice through this scanf statement. Then choice is decremented by 1 because all the arrays 0th element will start with all the arrays which start with 0 as its first element, and here we are putting 1 to 5. So when user wants to say his choice is guava, so he enters 4, but number of the element number of guava in the array flavor is 3. Now 0, 1, 2, 3. So we decrement the choice by 1 so that it aligns well with the element numbers of the array flavor and array price. Then there is a simple printf statement. Printf, your flavor is so and so, and you have to pay that much amount that has been mentioned in array price for that particular element number. So this is the screenshot. We have given 5 choices, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I entered 4 as my choice, which is guava, and this choice number 4 has been displayed by this printf statement. Your ice cream flavor is guava, please pay 40. This is the price which is appearing here with this statement price into the subscript choice. Choice being 3 here, price subscript 3 is 0, 1, 2, 3, 40, so that 40 appears here, and flavor being 4, which we decrement by 1 in choice, so flavor subscript 3 will be 0, 1, 2, 3, which is guava in this case. So this is how we can utilize the 2D array of strings. Now this is in this program, what we are going to see is how a topper amongst the students in 3 subjects, physics, chemistry and maths, can be found out using a function. We have declared int topper into the bracket int star as a prototype, function prototype. Then we have initialized the array called stud with 5 names, which are the names of the students. Then we have declared 3 numeric arrays named physics, chem and maths. See, one-dimensional numeric arrays, each assigned with the marks obtained by the students, these 5 students, in physics, chemistry and maths. Marks obtained are entered in the same sequence as that of names in the 3 1D array of ints. Then we call the function I is equal to topper and into the bracket physics. What this call says, that the function topper is being called, and to this function we are sending the address of the array physics. And what this function returns is a int. Actually, this int which it returns is collected in the variable I and used in these printf statements to display student name and the marks obtained by student. Then we call another function I is equal to topper into the bracket chem. So we are sending to the same function topper now in this call the address of the array named chem, which contains the marks obtained by these 5 students in the subject chemistry. Similarly for maths. Now how this function is defined? Int star a. A is a pointer which collects the address of the array which we are sending to it, which we are passing to it using the function. So in the first call to the function, the address of array physics will be passed, which will be collected by the pointer a in the function topper. Then we have declared a few int variables named j, stud and max, all assigned with 0. Then this for loop, it gives us the element number of array of which the address is in A, that element which contains the maximum value of all the elements in that particular array. How it does it? If star A is more than max we have already assigned with 0 in our program, max 0. If star of A is more than max, which says that if the content or the value pointed to by the pointer A is more than max, then that value is assigned to the variable max, and the number of that, the number which is the value of j in this loop is assigned to the variable stud. Then we increment the pointer A and the loop continues till j is less than 5. When j is equal to 5, loop terminates. When the loop terminates, max will contain the maximum number of marks in the maximum number of marks in the array represented by the pointer A, and the element which is having the highest value of that array, that element number is assigned to a variable stud. Then we return the value contained in stud by this return statement, returned into the bracket stud, which is collected by the variable I in the main, and that I now contains the element number of the array of physics, chem or maths when we call each of these functions, which is having the highest value of all the elements. And since these elements of the array are assigned in the same sequence as the name of students appear in the 2D array char stud, that element represents also the name of the student who has obtained those maximum marks out of all the 5 in each subject. So on executing this program, the output is top marks in physics is equal to 95. We will see in this array 95 is the maximum marks, and the student name is Namita, which is the fourth element of the 2D array, which is a single 1D array having contents Namita. Top marks in chemistry is equal to 99. So in chem, 99 is the highest marks, and student name is Manish. So this is element number 1 of array chem, which is having a maximum value amongst all the elements, and that element number 1 also correspond to element number 1 of stud, which contains the array 1D array or 1D string Manish, which is printed or which is displayed here by the printf statements of this. In maths is equal to max marks is equal to 100. Student name is Yogita. So 100 is the 0th element of the array maths, and 0th element also corresponds to name Yogita of the 2D array stud, 2D array of strings stud. So this is how we go for using 2D array of characters or 2D array of strings while using those arrays in our program. So this is what we have learnt about 2D array of strings. Please like and share my videos and visit my channel on the YouTube. Thanks for viewing.